Every year, the Emmys reminds us that TV isn't just television anymore. It's streaming wars, genre comebacks, surprise snubs, and history making firsts. This year was no different. The studio crashed onto the scene with record breaking wins. The Pit brought the medical drama back from the dead, and Adolescence made Emmy history with the youngest acting winner ever. Welcome back to Rectangles Podcast. This is episode 9. I'm Janackeh.
I'm Nick.
And it's our second on couch off topic episode where we kick back on the couch and dive into whatever's dominating the screen and the culture. Today we're talking about the 2025 Emmy Awards, the surprises, the snubs, the historic firsts, and the wins that are going to shape what we're all watching next. From the studio's breaking comedy debut to the Pit's big drama win to adolescents rewriting Emmy history, we've got a lot to cover. So grab a drink, settle in, and let's break down the Emmys the way only rectangles can. So, we're going to start today just talking about some, milestones and different facts from this year's Emmys. This was the 77th Emmy Awards.
Ooh.
And so Severance had the most nominations of any show. There were 27 nominations across all categories. Severance is an Apple TV show. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. There are 2 seasons, and the first, it takes a second to kind of like get the flow of what's going on. By the end, you're like your jaw's on the floor. Season
Do you want to kind of tell the viewers exactly how our Severance experience went? Because, it was kind of interesting with Severance, especially for you, because I was kind of in on the concept as soon as it was told to me.
Okay.
But I remember I was trying to show you, and I think that might relate to some of the people, because I've been seeing a lot of people be like, man, I'm seeing Severance. Like, everybody's talking about Severance. And then I've seen some people be like, I've watched it, but in the first episode, they're like, I don't understand what's going on. And I remember you specifically were kind of like, I want to say that was for the first 2 episodes, maybe 3?
I don't remember, honestly.
But I remember I sat you down because I already watched a good chunk of it, came back to be like, you need to watch it. And I remember you weren't really feeling it in the very first, I want to say like maybe first 2 episodes. And then I remember you were saying like something clicked and you were like, okay, I'm in.
Honestly, I don't remember. Most shows these days, you do have to watch multiple episodes to get what's going on. So I feel like Severance is along those same lines. I do feel like season 2 got a little stranger. But I think that if you've never watched it and you kind of watch the 2 seasons back to back, it'll make more sense than if you were watching it real time. Like, we watched season
Yeah.
1 when it came out.
Yeah.
So then when season 2 came out, I was so lost on so many things because I just didn't remember from season 1.
And also, to be fair, it was years out. It took them,
Yeah.
almost 3 years to get back to season
Yeah.
2? So, yeah, that was another kind of thing about, like, everybody who's watching in real time. I think you can benefit now, and Apple and Ben Stiller said it's not going to take as long getting the next season out. So they must have figured out what they need to do to get all the pieces in place for the show. But yeah, taking almost nearly 3 years off is a lot of time.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
27 nominations that's huge.
crazy. I've never seen nothing like it.
The studio won the most overall awards, 13 wins altogether.
Yep.
Among major categories, Adolescence led with 6 major wins, including outstanding limited or anthology series. The studio, in its first season, became the most nominated first-year comedy series in Emmy history with 23 nominations,
Wow.
which broke a record held by Ted Lasso, which was 20 nominations in 2021. And it also tied with The Bear, which had 23 nominations last year. So
I wanted to put a little quick interjection on that too. Apple's killing it lately.
yeah,
And I think it's crazy. I remember when Apple TV got announced, and everybody was like, "This is kind of stupid. Like, what? Why is Apple? We already got too many subscription services." Well,
Right.
a lot of people were saying, and it's funny is because I want to say that's before Disney Plus even came out, and they were already like, we got Hulu, we got Netflix, HBO was like starting to break off and become the original version of HBO Max, and so I think everybody was like, what's going on
Right.
here? And they also launched with like four shows. So it wasn't a big catalog. They didn't have a back catalog of anything else. And I think their bet of just like, look, we're going to really focus on doing original programming and basically writing creators blank checks is this is the final payoff.
Yeah.
Like Ted Lasso is really a fluke. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
For most people who don't know about Ted Lasso, it was born out of an NBC Sports sketch. Like Jason Sudeikis, I think at the time was still on SNL. This was like a one-off thing for the Premier League that just showed up on NBC Sports.
Yeah, it was
the
like a
rights to.
short.
It was a short, and they just made up this character, and that was that. And somehow Apple or Sudeikis or whoever picked it up and was like, yo, I think we can actually write something really around this character and get this going. And it just became a phenomenon. And it shows because Apple did not put any backing behind that show. If you were like at the very beginning of that show coming out, nobody knew about it. Nobody was talking about it, but it was word of mouth in that first season. It blew up like wildfire. And then you clearly saw Apple was like, oh, we were trying to promote morning show, which low key I feel like nobody watches.
They do.
They do.
Because it has the numbers.
Okay. So to go into one thing is I feel like some things are, which I do love. Now, we're fans of For All Mankind. Nobody's watching that show.
Yeah, that one.
Let's be real.
Deep cut, Apple TV.
Yeah.
Go watch For All Mankind.
For All Mankind is amazing. We are going to have to dedicate an episode one of these days to it because we're big fans of that show. Came out first day on Apple TV Plus. Did not get almost no recognition because Morning Show was the centerpiece franchise player. And to be honest, Morning Show I think just came back, or at this time of we're recording. It's coming back this week. And I don't see nobody being like, wow, where's more Morning Show? Where's more Morning Show? And they just got renewed already for the 5th season. And so it's like, okay, that's cool. But meanwhile, Slow Horses, bona fide hit, to be honest. You also have other little bubbling things, and the Chief of War is getting good nods. That seems like that's slowly building to something because I've started to see more chatter online about it of people who are finally giving it a chance and being like, wow, this is great. So just to say all that, it's funny how now I've noticed sentiment with like coinciding with the studio with Ted Lasso, most of all really the comedies, Shrinking, all of these shows. It seems like Apple wanted to come out real crazy with the dramas, and they really thought that was going to get them to their first Emmys and Academy Awards. And funny enough, the comedy stuff, even Coda, which is a comedy drama, was their first Academy Award.
Oh, wow.
And so it's funny that now it's noticed that like Studio, which we have a whole episode about, to go back and watch that, has a unlimited budget and the most expensive comedy show ever made. It paid off. So imagine that.
Some first ever or rare firsts in acting wins. Tremel Tillman became the
Yes.
first black male performer to win Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for Severance. Owen Cooper for
Yes.
Adolescence at age 15 became the youngest male actor ever to win an Emmy in any male acting category.
I do want to say about Tremel, shout out to Tremel. Love that dude. He needs more looks. Hopefully this leads to a bigger career. because he has great acting chops, and he seems like he could do really well in the comedy.
Yeah.
Because he seems like he's a nut in real
Yeah.
life.
Well, I mean, you could say that part of his Severance, uh, you know, his Severance performance
Has some
is
comedy
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's
the way he does
comedic
it. Yeah.
when you take the like frightening part out of it.
Right. And we probably need to get to that's a whole episode in itself. But the whole fact of everybody's going through their own horror story on Severance, essentially. Tramel it's called being black in corporate America.
There you go.
But also on top of that, wow, we've watched a good chunk of adolescence, half of adolescence so far as filming. I was telling you when we were watching it, that award now, watching the miniseries in hindsight of the award show, everybody deserves their awards. Fantastically shot, fantastically acted. I was more impressed with the kids than I was with the adults, and the adults killed it.
Well, so far,
Yes,
we
so
watched.
far.
So we watched half of it. There's 4 episodes. We watched 2.
We watched 2.
And and the first 2 episodes, like the kids, especially episode 2, is really centered around the high school, and it goes you literally. So the way that Adolescence is shot, I was going to kind of get into this later, but we might as well just go into it. The way that Adolescence is shot. And we didn't know this going into it. We just kind of like popped it on because it was a winner and it was on our list and we hadn't watched it yet. So I was like, let's just check it out and see. The first 2 episodes, and I'm sure the rest of the series, they're all shot one shot.
Yeah, it's like a
The
winner.
entire episode, one shot. And like the second episode where they focus on the high school, they're literally walking through the school and you're following these kids and it goes like kid by kid and they all have these like great monologues, or well, not really monologues, but just kind of when they have their moment, they are really like acting, and each kid has like their own moment or several moments during that episode, and they all did very well. So yeah,
super, like, really well done. So I honestly, shout out to Noah, but
Owen Cooper.
I'm sorry, Owen Cooper, sorry, but he definitely should share that award with the rest of the kids on the cast, because that was a big collective effort. Even though, of course, he's really the star. He's the centerpiece of the whole entire thing, which is amazing for a kid that young to understand. Like, we've kind of covered winners already on this show, but the fact of, and I'm sure Adolescence is not completely shot as a true winner. That's a lot, because there are hours. This is an hour-long episode per episode in that miniseries. That would be the insane amount of planning that it would take. Go back and watch our studio episode where we cover more into winners, but it's a massive undertaking. And when you're dealing with actual real kids, like, these kids aren't actually 21 years old and they just look 15.
Yeah. No, they're actual teenagers.
They're actual teenagers. And there's groups of them, like tons of them in some scenes, of where they're really wrangling kids, adults, the actors, while they're doing real, like, things like a fire drill and whatnot, and they have to act all this stuff out, and there's the little conversations they actually have to have that, if you're paying attention, you can hear, that really sounds like kids chatter. But then they're also inside of the scene, there's like either detectives or teachers or somebody trying to wrangle things. It looks lived in. Everything feels super real. And I think maybe that's just a testament not only for maybe the amount of planning they probably have to do to get everything to look like a continuous shot, but then also just the kids having to be on point. Like, if one person in a 3-minute take of a winner messes up, we got to run this all the way back. So yeah, that's
they were
really
all super
cool.
tight. Yeah,
Super tight. So yeah, shout out to them.
Noah Wyle won his first Emmy this year for lead actor in a drama, The Pit, despite many nominations over his career. you know, ER.
Yeah.
And there, it was a gap of 26 years since he was last nominated, which is amazing
Wow.
because I'm sure he didn't see this coming.
What and you know the crazy part is, I don't know if you know that they're having a legal battle right
Oh, yeah,
now
yeah, yeah, yeah,
over
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Speaking of ER, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
essentially, the Michael Crichton estate thinks that it's a little too close to ER, which I have words about that could go beyond in even an hour-long episode, but
Yeah.
I do believe in that it's frivolous. I'll just come out and say it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, couldn't you say that about any of the medical dramas? And there's so
Exactly.
many of them.
Exactly. Now, if people show up to a park that has dinosaurs that got resurrected from mosquito larvae, we might have a case here for Jurassic Park, right? For you know, Protozoic Park or whatever period park of you know, dinosaurs. But uh, having, yeah, one, they're shooting it completely different from ER.
Mm-hmm.
ER was shot.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing a lot of kind of like one style takes
Yeah.
in also in the pit. So I
Mm-hmm.
would say that's a big argument right there.
Yeah, and the pit, the entire season is one shift.
Yeah, one shift.
One shift.
Each episode is 1 hour, which
Of this day, you know, you're only seeing this snapshot of time, this entire season, one day.
I'm not even gonna hold you. It's a hard watch, and I'm not saying it's a hard watch as in.
It was good, though.
It
I
is
loved
good.
it.
It is good.
I can't wait for the next season.
It's just when if you binge that show,
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a lot. We had to take
it's
breaks.
a
Like it was just like
lot.
one episode here and there.
Yeah.
Because it is like it's hitting you
yeah,
the entire time. It's like okay,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like ER on steroids.
Yes.
In 2025.
For sure. And I think honestly, for me personally, it kind of triggers me because I would love to have been in the medical field. Not squeamish at blood, not squeamish at a lot of things. You know, like bad things happening to kids or certain other situations. It covers all of that. And I think when it's doing that and they're on HBO, so they can be a lot more raw than they were on NBC
Yeah.
for ER.
And it covers a lot of current,
Yes.
like, you know, situations that would be realistic for 2025.
Yeah. And I think it's like they did a really good job. It's just, I think, honestly, it's a little real at times, and you got to adjust to that. Because we have medical shows on TV right now, Chicago Med or all these other, God, was it, what's the name is still in the air? Shonda's show.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy. He's been on there for 20-some years. But they're on regular network TV.
Yeah.
They can't go that raw. It can't feel as real because, well, one, if you lost a leg or something's happening, you're going to say the F word a couple times, obviously. So watching it on regular TV, a lot of stuff is sanitized, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the pit's
And-
like, whoa, okay. all
And I
right.
love the fact that like medical professionals like were
Exactly.
like, yeah, this is how a shift is for me. Like they were like, yeah, this is real. This is realistic.
And I mean, it shows Noah actually did shout out actual medical like folks by saying, you know, this shout out to anybody who's on their shift right now or getting off their shift right now, which is real cool. So yeah.
We've got oldest and youngest nominees. Kathy Bates for Matlock became the
Yes.
oldest person nominated in a lead actress in a drama category. And if you haven't watched Matlock, highly recommended. This is the 2024 update of Matlock, not the old school 80s Matlock, 90s Matlock, which, you know, that was great too for its time. But this one, and you know, I think we went into it like not really having that much expectation. It was like, let's see what they're doing with this.
Yeah.
And literally, like by the end of the first episode, they're like popping it off like
Yes.
with a bang, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta keep watching. So they did really well on the first season. It was really good. I I loved it. I loved every second of it.
I think they are not advertising it correctly, to be honest,
They might not be, but it's
because
great.
Kathy is obviously is older.
Yeah.
Those of us who actually grew up with her, like Misery and whatnot. Yeah, she's an old lady now. She'll tell you that herself. So it visually to me, when you're looking at the original Matlock, when you're like, oh, Andy Griffin's really old in this,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at Kathy Bates, oh, now she's really old in this, but it's not your grandma's Matlock.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? What's funny is grandmas are different. My grandma would be great grandma right now, so that would be a totally different generation. Grandmas now, which is my mom, right? Your mom would be like, this probably is their Matlock because our moms do watch that show actually. But I think it's updated since
Yeah.
Kathy's from our mom's generation essentially. I feel like it makes sense that it's a little bit more updated of where she knows how to use her phone.
Right. Right.
Versus, the original Matlock
Well,
was before the internet.
she needs a little help sometimes.
She does need help.
But yeah,
But-
she figures it out.
But she figures it out.
We also have Bella Ramsey, who was nominated again in the lead actress drama category for The Last of Us, as the first non-binary person to be nominated more than once in a lead actress drama category.
I had a thing about that.
Yeah.
I wonder how non-binary actors feel, because she's not the first one to get a nomination in general like that. Because I know, gosh, I can't remember their name right now, but I wonder how they feel being in a category. So obviously, Bella usually presents as female, and she's playing a female role. And I wonder if that is kind of a level of contention, how you would feel as a non-binary person that you're throwing me in the actress category. Or do you see it as you look over at maybe the male category and you're like, ooh, it's stacked over there. I kind of like my chances on this side
Well,
of the fence,
and the-
right? Like, I wonder what...
I'm not sure exactly how Bella Ramsey identifies, but if they identify as she, they, then
Then, yeah, we
it
throw...
might not
Right,
you know.
right.
really have any.
And yeah, I don't fully know how she identifies. I know she identifies as not binary because that kind of came out before The Last of Us even got started.
Yeah.
That was in that in between when she was, very little in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And when she got, I want to say 17, she kind of was like, hey, this is what I identify as. And we were like, oh, okay, little girl from, all right, cool. I mean, she cool. Like, and then she shows up on this. And with a character that's kind of similar. So I always was like curious about that, of how we're going to handle these things, where people are living in their truths and whatnot. Kind of takes me outside of film and TV, where like Tyler, the Creator, got Best Rap Album a couple years ago, and he was like, this album wasn't rap, but y'all just threw me in the rap category. I'm kind of a little offended that you threw me over here. So, yeah.
We also have some, kind of like genre surprises. So The Pit, which is a medical procedural, became the first medical procedural to win Outstanding Drama Series since ER back in 1996.
Wow.
That's a big genre milestone. And Severance actually led in nominations but did not win the top drama series. That was The Pit, who took Outstanding Drama Series. Networks, HBO Max, and Netflix each took home 30 wins, tying between the platforms. And of course, Apple TV had big success with The Studio and Severance. So just some general things. The Emmys had about 7.59 million viewers,
Wow.
making it the most watched Emmys in 4 years.
Wow.
It was hosted by Nate,
Bargatze?
Bargatze. And they made some category changes, moving Outstanding Variety Special Live to the main ceremony instead of Creative Arts. And also, they changed the rules about guest performance eligibility so that an actor who previously won or has been nominated for a role in a series can't submit that same character as a guest in future years.
Oh, which is, yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe kind of like snubs or surprises is
Mm,
that The Handmaid's Tale ended its run,
yeah.
but the final episodes got few, if any, nominations.
Mm,
Despite its history of Emmys, it was largely shut out. And also Squid Game, which, the second season received no nominations, which is surprising given the show's huge cultural presence. And I guess, maybe for the first season, but it sounds like the second season might not have landed, as well.
I
Um,
don't think so.
yeah.
I think Squid Games is a interesting thing because I feel like it's suffering from the Hunger Games problem
Mm,
of where when it first comes out
hmm.
and it's somewhat new
Yeah, we
and
haven't really seen anything quite like it
quite
before.
like it are, American audiences for sure. If
Yeah.
it's something that maybe been bubbling somewhere else and then finally gets to us and we're like, whoa, oh, now this is what I'm talking about right here. I think America is so much of a consumer nation
Hmm.
that yes, Squid Games is Korean,
Yeah.
but we brought on. It was so interesting to see with the political climates that are going on in America constantly. The first Squid Game came out under a totally different, presidential administration, different economy, honestly, at the
Yeah.
time. It's so crazy of how, like, it was everywhere. It had almost the Walking Dead effect where it was tied to every single little thing. They had,
Hmm.
I felt like they had Happy Meal toys. Like it was for something that's actually you wouldn't let your kids watch.
Yeah.
It was pretty violent, pretty crazy, and over the top. Like it just got saturated. And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
It got so saturated, they took a while getting back to the second season
Yeah.
and not capitalizing while it was hot. There were some things I remember hearing behind the scenes. There was some licensing
Mm.
issues. There was the creator kind of, it's an allegory for capitalism. And then it became one of the biggest capitalist things. Like, that's like somebody saying, oh, no, I made like Labubus for like artistic merit. Well, buddy, they go for $200, $300 now.
Mm.
So cash out, I guess. And kind of the creator kind of did. So I've been hearing it's not as strong, and there's American influences a lot of people don't like
Hmm.
in the new season, which I find interesting.
Yeah. Well, and so to round this out, as far as special awards, the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award was given jointly to Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen, which was the first time the award has been presented to a couple. So, between the studio's record breaking debut and Owen Cooper becoming the youngest Emmy winner ever, this year already feels like a TV time capsule. We're going to take a pause here for a quick ad break. When we come back, we'll get into the category breakdowns and, some more talk about who actually walked away with the trophies.
So, before we get off into the rest of the episode, just taking out a second, make sure to like and subscribe to this episode, share with your friends, hit us up in the comments. Did you watch the Emmys this year? Or were you like some people where you just kind of wait for the Hollywood Reporter article to come out and explain to you everybody who won? And then also, too, hit us up in the comments and let us know, are you the type of person of where usually you may not watch shows until they win something? You know, it's usually kind of one of those things of where this is really big in the industry for people to win awards, for the Academy Awards, the Emmys, Grammys, or anything like that, because they usually know a lot of people are finally going to pay attention
Yeah.
and just be like, oh, okay, well, I've had that in my list, or, you know, like adolescents. And, you know, they're just going to generally be like, hey, might as well go and give that a shot now that looks like everybody else is watching it. Or are you savvy enough where you usually like, yeah, watch the whole thing, watched the whole thing last weekend. Yeah, it should have won an award. So let us know. Anyway, getting back to the actual winners, I want to go a little in depth on a couple of the winners, just highlight them. One of the big ones I wanted to go with was Britt Lower from Severance. She won for outstanding lead actress in a drama series. It's very interesting and it's kind of cool that she won because I specifically remember her off of a comedy series from about 10 years ago now called Man Seeking Woman. If you've never seen that show, if you're into, I would say, avant-garde comedy, I don't know how to explain. Basically, if you grew up watching Adult Swim or you watch Adult Swim now as an adult, this show seems like it probably should have been on Adult Swim because it's super crazy. It has Eric Andre in it. It also has, gosh, what's his name? He's the lead in it. Dre Burchell is the main lead in there, and Britt Lower actually plays his sister. And it's really interesting because the way it's so crazy and off the wall as a comedy, it's not surprising to me that she can play Helly R on Severance because there are some dream sequences that they do of where they're doing serious acting. And even though majority of them are all comedians, they have to like be in an alternate reality situation or something revolving around the character or just something random that happens in the episode. It's literally a live action cartoon, which I've said time and time again, that needs to be a whole genre in itself. Some stuff definitely pairs better with Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, and American Dad than it does with Cheers. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, Always Sunny, which is, you know, starting to be her one of her favorite comedy shows. We're going through that right now. All the catching her up over the last 20 years of that show. And yeah, it's fully off the wall, zany. And then in true cartoon fashion, basically nothing matters at the end of the episode. And we basically reset back to square one.
And they've been snubbed every year.
Every time. So
No awards.
none. And it's hilarious how some people have graduated from that show and have actually went on to win awards. Jimmy Simpson, who plays one of the inbred brothers on the show, and it's nothing related to any of his drama roles. And just like long story short, comedians I feel like are sometimes the full package. You know, shout out to all the dramatic actors where, you know, drama is their bread and butter. That's great. But to be honest, I feel like comedians are people who have comedic timing, just like we were talking about Trammell. They're definitely, I feel like they're more versatile. And that's when the genre bending can kind of come in. You know, similar to the controversy with The Bear being considered a comedy just because it's only 30 minutes. but that's an intense 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And honestly, the bear ain't really that funny. I've never really heard anybody say, man, the bear was
Yeah, there's
hilarious.
funny moments,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say like any episode, the entire episode is
Hmm.
just comedy.
Exactly.
Like it's very dramatic.
Is very triggering in some cases. Seven Fishes, shout out to that episode. Uh, so, yeah, I just wanted to highlight Britt Lower just because I know she's been grinding for a long time. And it's funny just to see her career of being a lot of comedy, some drama roles, and then Severance kind of being her biggest role,
Hmm.
and just her, like, it just pays off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to grind at it. If you look at her IMDb page, she's been at this for a hot minute. She's essentially really like a kid actor. If you go and look back at some of her credits, it's going back deep. And so that was really cool to see. Jean Smart for Hacks, outstanding lead actress in a comedy series. I believe Jean has won before, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say that was Hacks. It might have been our first or second season they won. That's when I started kind of watching Hacks, a little bit of Hacks,
Mm.
which is hilarious. Jean Smart is hilarious, period. She very much, when I was kind of explaining the show to you, because you haven't watched it yet,
Hmm.
I was kind of explaining it to the analogy of this is almost seems like Jean is playing a Lucy type character,
Hmm.
where she's an older comedian. She had fame. She was a household name. And then this is kind of in the twilight of her career, trying to like refine what's funny, honestly. In the first couple of episodes, gosh, what's her name? Hannah Inbinder is like a writer for her. And you know, especially with old school comedians, you ain't gonna write nothing for me. So that's like a whole big chunk of the first season of Hacks is trying to get that voice of where it's kind of like old man figures out the cloud, and it's really of where Jean has to find her groove
Mm.
in the more modern world, not being a hack, a hack comedian. And so it's very interesting, especially for fans of comedy. If you're really into comedy, like the science of comedy, it doesn't waste any time kind of getting into that nitty gritty, and they're kind of using like insider lingo of like for comedy, of like how do you think about comedy, how do you write comedy,
Mm.
uh, and like the thought process that goes into a comedian is really on display, and that's kind of the real point of that whole show, in my
Mm.
opinion.
So interestingly,
Hmm.
she won
Hmm.
the outstanding lead actress in a comedy series for Hacks
Hmm.
in 21, 22, 24, and this year 25.
Jeez.
For 23, she lost to Quinta Bronson, but she wasn't even nominated that year, so that was
Mm.
interesting.
Oh, interesting.
But yeah, she came back and won again. So
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, they have a stat cast over there on Hacks. Speaking of Always Sunny, the woman who plays Dee
mm.
is also her daughter.
Yeah, Caitlin Olsen.
Yeah, Caitlin Olsen, who's kind of a mess, just like Dee, but not as much. Even though Caitlin Olsen's almost in this household could be a whole episode. Also, of course, she has High Potential on ABC, where she's
Yes,
really not
that show
Dee,
just came back.
but
Yeah, with a
she
bang.
always has flashes of Dee, actually, in
Yeah,
everything she's
yeah,
played. The Mick, all of that.
yeah. I know because so since we've been watching Always Sunny, and we just started High Potential literally back again this past week for season 2,
Mhm.
which shout out to that show. Check out High Potential if you haven't. It's great. But I was thinking, and I told him, going into season 2, I was like, I'm not going to be able to see her as this character anymore. I'm probably gonna just see her as D. But as we watched that first episode of season 2, I
Hmm.
was like, no, it's not D. Like there are like some sparks of D, but I was like, this is an actual different character.
Hmm.
So that was surprising. I was like, oh, she can act, but I mean, she's been doing this for a long time now, so I hope so.
Right. And that's the crazy part. I was going to bring it up too when you were talking about how Always Sunny hasn't won any awards, which they
Hmm.
haven't. But Caitlin Olsen's been nominated for Hacks
Okay, yeah.
for her guest roles being the daughter to Gene Smart's character on Hacks.
Hmm.
Charlie obviously has actually, got nominated for things too. All of them have gotten nominated for things actually, because Caitlin's husband, Rob,
Hmm.
has also been nominated for the Welcome to Wrexham reality show
Hmm.
of him owning the soccer team in Wales. So it's funny how all of them have gotten some nomination, and that's crazy that together everybody like has been on TV for 20 years and has not received any acknowledgement, which is hilarious because they also presented, what was that, not last year, I think it was the year before that,
Hmm.
as a as the cast, and literally pointed it out on stage that they haven't gotten nominated for anything. But yeah, and so with that, Kristen Milioti for the Penguin, extended lead actress in a limited or anthology series or movie. I'm kind of torn on Penguin being considered a limited or anthology series. It almost gets me to a point where I want to look that up exactly of what that means,
Mm.
because if I'm not mistaken, Penguin's coming back for a second season. So I'm wondering, how is it like a limited series or anthology, because Penguin had really good reviews.
Hmm.
Really seems very like acclaimed. And so it's kind of interesting, and it sounds like HBO is going to renew it for a second season and possibly maybe a third if it does well again. So it's kind of weird that it's considered a limited series. And so I guess it's all about submission and how you want to play it. But I wonder if that can be retconned if the show goes to like 5 seasons. It's not very limited.
Yeah. It. So yeah, looking it up,
Hmm.
it says that the Academy defines a limited series as a program that tells a complete, non-recurring story with a predetermined beginning, middle, and end. Usually 6 to 10 episodes. No ongoing series with the same storyline, characters, and the same roles.
Interesting.
So True Detective, it was an
Hmm.
anthology, so
Yep.
it fit the model.
Yes.
Fargo was an
Yes.
anthology.
Yep.
Chernobyl, anthology, so it fit the model.
Which is weird though, because
And
that
so,
I guess it would be limited series actually, technically, for Chernobyl, right? Because it's not like you're getting a second season of Chernobyl in any
yeah.
form or fashion. We hope not. But
Oh, and also there's not a current plan for a season 2.
really
Yeah, it says that the
interesting.
character will continue in films, not more TV.
I wonder if that has something to do now. God, why is it always escaping me his name? The Penguin,
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, which did an excellent job. But I remember seeing interviews of where he was like, look, getting into the Penguin character takes a lot of mental taxation. And he's also in that chair for a hot minute, getting all the prosthetics done and everything to
Mm-hmm.
get done. It almost is similar. It seemed like to me like Marlon Wayans have been saying of everybody wants white chicks too. Nobody knows me and Sean, whereas, a day of shooting would be like 18 hours,
Mm-hmm.
because it would be a ton of hours
Yeah.
to be in the chair. You shoot your scenes and a ton of it to get it off. And then you'd be right back the next day on set. So, yeah, I'm very curious of where that could go, because I do like Matt Reeves' take on Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And with, obviously the show was a I feel like a prequel. I believe it was a prequel to the Batman, and hopefully we get a sequel at least to that movie. Hopefully James Gunn with the new DC universe and all of that can continue that to go on because that's an interesting take, and I did like the grittiness of that kind of Batman. It was a little different from the Dark Knight series and Christopher Nolan, and I think they can get really into some explorations of mental health that really Batman centers around. I think Batman's an allegory for mental health in America, to be honest, at this point in time nowadays,
Yeah.
because you got an insane asylum in the city, which is essentially Chicago, and you throw everybody in here, but you're just throwing them away. You're not really doing anything about it. And it's just festering over and over again until, you're not, Batman's not really the solution. That's spoiler alert. Batman's not really the solution because he also has mental health problems himself. So, yeah. Going next to Jeff Hiller, who won Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series for Somebody Somewhere. I believe they're in their fourth season now. I watched a couple of the first episodes of the first season. Obviously, I think sometimes for shows of when they finally get a award for anybody's performance, and it's like maybe season 3, season 4, I think it's a accumulation of work. I don't never think that, oh, they really killed it in season 3. I think sometimes it might be that the side character, which Jeff Hiller does play, he's not the main character, but he's a really big supporting factor in the show, even in starting in the pilot. I think once you get a hold of that character, and maybe they have some episodes where the writers can kind of take focus off of a main character, maybe follow another character for a complete episode and really show range, is usually when you start seeing nominations after that, because it's like, oh, so and so was pretty funny throughout the whole like first 2 seasons, and then we finally find that character doing something on their own or by themselves, and then they gave us a real dramatic, turn with comedy, or comedic turn or something like that. It gives a chance for everybody to explore something different, and that's usually when the awards come in.
Yes. For your consideration, Always Sunny Charlie Work episode.
Yes, and there's a lot of episodes. What are the rules?
No, the gang. The gang turns black.
Turns black.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them of where they're showing a lot of dramatic turns. So it's not surprising that cast can do dramatic roles outside of the bounds of Always Sunny. And then so I also quick shout out to The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Really cool to see. I also think there was obviously a political bent to it, considering the show's been canceled, but they still air until, well, I think they still got to March of next year.
Yeah,
Somewhere
there's
in
some
there.
time.
Yeah, they got a good amount of time. Still almost literally half a year left of being able to air and kind of air whatever they want, because if CBS pulls them any early, they're still getting paid. So what's to lose? And I think it was just so telling with just what's going on with late night hosts and the political climate and things going on. It was good to see Colbert being able to basically really make a good statement, good classy statement at the time of like, hey, this is more needed than ever. And I really like that they won something on the way out. To quote Denzel, I'm leaving here with something. And so with that too, outstanding directing for a drama series went to Adam Randall for the episode of Slow Horses, Hello Goodbye, which was the last season's finale.
Finale, yeah.
Really good. If you're
And this show, yeah, the show is excellent. It's an
Yeah.
Apple TV show.
Yeah.
It's British.
Yep.
If you haven't watched it, you're gonna see, like, even starting out in season one, one of the first guests, or she's not really a guest star, but one of the first characters that you see is actually from the Game of Thrones. Well, the what's
House of the Dragon.
House of Dragons.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll see some recognizable people, but it is a funny show. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. It's kind of like a spy thriller, but with comedy and of course like British, to round everything out. It's excellent. What's the lead character's name, or who's the lead actor? It's escaping me.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Is
if you
a
know,
fool.
you know, and he is hilarious and just out there and over the top.
He's going the other way. Gary Oldman's obviously known for doing some of the best work, dramatic work, for the last, good God, 40 years. Easy. He is absolutely hilarious in this show. He is the comic relief for the most part in this show. And then the way he's able to turn it on a dime to having his character
he's quick
being,
with it.
Yeah, to being the most craziest uncle, basically. It's almost Uncle Buck in charge of the CIA.
Yeah.
Or at least a unit of the CIA or the FBI.
Or,
And
MI.
yeah, MI5, which is technically what they are.
Yeah.
They're the dropouts of MI5.
Essentially.
They're the bad
hilarious.
kids of MI5.
Yeah.
And, but the way he's able to have multitudes of a character, but keep it real light until the split second of where he has to remind somebody, oh, this is the reason why I'm a legend. This is the reason why I'm also in charge. So don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I may have showed up late and drunk, but I'm still on point, which is like really cool to see in a show of where, you as a viewer, there's been times where we've been sitting there and we're like, oh, oh wow. Forgot this guy's really like Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
But he's a burnout.
You see him and you're like, how is he in charge of anything?
Right.
He's terrible.
He's not in charge of his own life.
He just like turns it on, and he's on top of it.
He is on top
But
of
it doesn't seem like it.
And of course, with the episode "Hello Goodbye," the seasons, each season has a particular villain circulating around them of what the crew of the slow horses from Slough House is chasing after. The newest season of where Hugo Weaving is actually the bad guy. I'm not going to give exactly into his character, but it actually explains some things about the other main character, his origin stories, what happened at MI5, kind of some of the things that lead to Slough House even being born, because there's clearly things between Gary Oldman's character, and it almost puts everything on a neat little bow. But you can, they're coming back for season 5 as of us recording, this week, actually. So when this video drops and this audio drops, the new episode, the new season of Slow Horses should be starting. And hopefully they get to start answering some of the questions from season 4. But yeah, it's just really well done, really good. Slight spoiler alert for Slow Horses: somebody gonna die almost every season. Don't really get attached to almost nearly nobody in the show, because anybody can get it. It will become almost a dead horse by season 3. But then you are kind of sitting there almost in a Game of Thrones type situation where you're like, okay, like, ooh, who's gonna get it this time? Like, and it was a little shocking on this last season. Um, Two, I want to also, well, no, actually, to wrap it all up, actually, shout out to Jack Thorne and Stephen Graham for Adolescence. Outstanding writing for a limited or anthology series of movie. Like I said, we've talked about Adolescence already a lot. I did want to point out with Stephen Graham because he also won another award that night, which I believe was Outstanding Lead Actor for Adolescence. Well deserved. Like I said, you gotta watch it. It is really good. I would say I understand now why it was a big thing that everybody was really talking about it when it first came out. We actually are watching it very late after the fact, but it doesn't matter. It needs to be watched. I think there's some important things in there for parents. Just honestly, I feel like it's definitely written with a Gen X millennial, maybe older millennial mindset, an eye of people that are probably in their later 40s to mid 30s that may be parents or may have younger sisters and brothers that are in the Gen Z set. And it's kind of like a view into shifting your view into knowing how kids, where their thoughts are, where they're at in their generation. Of course, it goes into young men in crisis. That's a big, I feel like that's a really big part of the show and its message. And, you know, kind of was on my soapbox on the last episode of just, you know, young men and how it is important for society, all of us, to become a village for these young men that are clearly lost and steering
Searching.
them,
Yeah.
steering them in the right direction.
Yeah, they're searching for something.
Yeah, and then giving them positive outlets of things. I think too, adolescence plays into that as well. That's a big chunk of it. And yeah, so shout out to Stephen Graham, and of course, can't leave Stephen Graham without mentioning him essentially claiming his blackness on stage after he had the award in his hands. And I am not going to even hold you. It was hilarious. We were watching that soon afterwards, and I was kind of like, yeah, it kind of gave me, yeah, you white folks can't take this out of my hand. You didn't know I was black, did you? Like, yeah, you thought you gave it to the white man. It was the brother man. Can't give it back. Leaving here with something. So, I think that was kind of cool because been watching Stephen Graham since Snatch. That was 20 some plus years ago, and really thought he was a really good actor even back then. Watched him a couple of BBC productions because I love British TV, but it was wild, just somebody I've been having in my consciousness for 20 something years, and then he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm Jamaican. And yeah, if you look up Stephen Graham, his dad, and him when he's younger, might be a reason why he's bald, because it looked like it's gonna get real curly if you start growing that hair out. And then his brother's even darker, so it's like, and he's an actor, he just hasn't, it seems like most of his roles when I looked him up on IMDb, hasn't, what he's been in hasn't really came to America heavily. And so it's interesting. I kind of like that. I'm always interested in just race relations and how ethnicity is handled in other countries. And the fact that honestly, Stephen's only 1/8 like of African descent, essentially. He still claims really his blackness. And he's like, I'm just a mixed kid from the hood, essentially, where he's from. He's like, nobody's supposed to be like me. It's supposed to be getting
Mm.
these awards. And yeah, if you look into some of his interviews, he actually has been loud about it the entire time. But
Mm.
I think with the spotlight on him,
Yeah.
it is really cool that he was like, no, I'm keeping it real this whole entire time. This is who I am. This is where I'm from. But yeah, he's said that he's gotten bullied for it in grade school for being a mixed race and all of these things. So it's interesting of like that probably is a thing known in like the British circles and over in England. But for as far as American, he's passing.
Hmm.
So how do we to know,
Right.
right? And I think honestly, him saying that, I've seen it on Black Spaces online of where they're like, okay, all right, Steve, like, and you kept it real, so we might have to keep an eye on you. So it's interesting where this might go
Yeah.
for him in his career, as far as like in American audiences. So yeah, that's pretty much my rundown and my kind of little more in depth of the Emmy winners.
Hmm.
Of course, shout out to SNL. They won for Outstanding Variety, not for the 50th season, but
The
the
anniversary
anniversary
special.
special, which I believe was technically 3 hours. There was 2 hours that got aired, I believe. There was another hour that lives online, and one that rotates around just the musical guests.
Hmm.
And then, of course, I don't know exactly if that covered the whole entire special itself or the one that just aired on TV, the hour
Hmm.
that aired on TV. But yeah, everybody was there. You had Eddie Murphy doing a really good God, why am I going blank on that boy's name? Who always want to get everybody pregnant? Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
Tracy.
yeah, Tracy, yeah, and
What's his name?
Tracy. Good God, it's Tracy. And I'm gonna kick myself when I get to his last name,
Yeah.
because I've been watching him my whole entire life. But it's bro man, okay, all right, and it's interesting just having 50 years.
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, it's interesting having 50 years of SNL. It's been around my entire life.
Yeah.
I don't know a world without SNL. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like a weird thing of like kids who grew up into having the internet always existing.
Hmm.
So for me, winning an award, SNL winning any kind of award is like no duh. They kind of started this like primetime variety series.
Yeah.
Like everybody owes something to SNL, even if they weren't on SNL as a cast member. Just because I feel like honestly, just being 50 years back, what 1975, you maybe have comedians being on late night.
Hmm.
Carson. That's kind of like America's exposure before that. And this is bringing comedy out of a dank nightclub in the basement, in some cases out of New York City, especially, to everybody's house all across of America, at even though it's a late night slot, that was pretty big. So, of course, for me, every time we were kind of looking at that at this list, I was like, no duh. But at the same time, thinking about it, it's well overdue for SNL to get any kind of props because they really made their own lane and invented some things. But that's about it. And we're going to actually go to another break and we'll come back and wrap it up. So we'll talk to you here in a little bit. Bye.
And we are back to wrap up episode 9, which was our second on couch off topic episode covering the 2025 77th Emmy Awards, the winners, the nominations. We were kind of surprised to realize that we've watched pretty much every show that won, with the exception of maybe like one or two, which yeah. So yeah, excellent choices, excellent picks this year, and congratulations to all of the winners. And just to remind you, Rectangles Podcast, please like this episode, subscribe to our channel. It really helps out. Share this with your friends, share it with your you know, your online networks, and you know, keep watching, keep listening. We cover such a wide variety of shows and movies, things that you may not have thought of or known that even existed. We're going to give you a pretty thorough take on you know, a little bit of the behind the scenes without really spoiling the major things that you've got to watch out for when you're actually watching. You know, we're not going to tell you the big things that happen, but we're going to break down some of the things that are kind of well known in pop culture, or things that people are talking about. So definitely give us that like on this episode, and please subscribe so you can find out the next thing that we're talking about. We'll see you next time for episode 10. This is Rectangles Podcast.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.